Let's move to Not So Sure in Novi. And Not So Sure says, I have a deed from my aunt on a home that she owned as a rental. She gave me the deed right before her death about 4 months ago, and the rental is a 4-unit. I went to collect on the rent the other day, and the tenants refused to pay me, even after I showed them I had the deed. I sent them a notice to quit, and an attorney for one of the tenants called me, threatening me. Also, my cousin called and said the deed was no good because his mother was not in her right mind when she gave it. What should I do? From Not So Sure in Novi.
Wow. Oh, that's like laden with like several different items.
Yes.
Well, let's just start with what we know. And the fact that we know is that we have a lady who passed away, and she deeded a property before, like a couple months before her death.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's just talk about that for 1 minute. The cousin, so that would be the mother's son.
Yeah, the aunt's
like the
child,
nephew,
I'm assuming.
favorite nephew. We call those
Right.
waltzing tours. People who come out of nowhere and say, "Oh, it's mine." And you're
So
like,
this would be the aunt's child who is probably
was disinherited or something like that. But here's the thing: the aunt, when she passes, that's an asset, and the asset in question may or may not have been deeded legitimately to the cousin, the person who's writing this question.
Right.
So we have a probate element. This is where we do the real estate intersects the probate. We have a deed that people are, the aunt's son or the cousin is questioning the validity of the deed. It's really not that the deed may be valid in the sense that everything's been done right, but if you're challenging a person's capacity to know what they're doing, did they really take the deed of their own volition? Did they know what we call what we call the extent of their own bounty? So that's like almost like an elder care issue. Did these people, was she in her right mind? Did she know what she had, or did she know what she was given? So that's a problem, and that can be attacked in a probate. Okay, so that is a probate issue, and unfortunately, this person, if they don't come to some type of agreement, it's going to go to probate, and it's going to be challenged there. Okay, so probate courts determine, whether or not somebody had the capacity to give a deed. That's number one. When somebody's there's a deceased.
Right.
Then the issue really at hand is, okay, who's collecting the rent? Who has the right to the rent? You're going to need to probate that during this process. You're going to open up a probate, and it can be either party. Both parties, both cousins actually have an interest in this property and an interest in the aunt's estate, so both could actually try to open up the estate. And then they would open the estate, and we would get appointed a personal representative from the court. And then that personal representative would have the authority to collect the rent on behalf of the estate from the tenants. You see, I have to kind of separate that.
Yep.
Really two things going on. Is it as much a real estate issue, an investment property issue, as it is a probate issue? Well, yeah, but it's mostly a probate issue. That's all it is. It's a probate issue, and it's just affecting a rental property.
Gotcha.
Both cousins need to get together, from experience, try and work it out, because while you're fighting, when the tenants find out that you're fighting, they're not paying.
Right.
So at the very least, work together. That's what I would advise clients. Work together at least to get a personal representative appointed immediately so that you can collect the rents. Then fight over the money in court. Okay.
So that personal representative would just sort of escrow everything.
Yeah, they would open an escrow account. They would have authority to act on behalf of the aunt's estate.
Okay.
The aunt is the only one who owned that rental property. That's pretty much it. They step in and say, "Give me the rent. I'm the personal representative."
It's just kind of comical how the tenants refuse to pay this person, and then they send a notice, and then the tenants, then they hear from the tenant's attorney, It's just comical. The tenant's response was just like, I don't know you. Like, who are
Well,
you?
I don't
You
know if
know?
that's comical. I think that's actually kind of smart.
No, it is, but it's just, it's comical to me. This poor person who wrote this question, how that must have just been like so off-putting. You know, just
Oh yeah,
they weren't
right,
expecting that. I'm
right,
picturing like their response to the tenant's response, just like that little visual of like them
right,
slamming the door in their face as their hand is being held out, like, I don't know you, slamming the door.
right,
Like,
right.
goodness, things
Actually,
are more complicated than they seem, folks, is the theme for every
right.
single YouTube video we've ever made.
Oh yeah, well yeah, that's true. That's true. That's what, you know what, that's actually, Blair, that's what keeps me going in the morning. Like,
Yep,
there's never a dull moment.
there's
I
always
mean, it
something.
really is. It's
Yes,
so true. Never a dull
yes.
moment. And there's so many different ways to look at things. It's pretty much, it's life. You
Mm-hmm.
know, what it isn't is cut and dry, and that's the one thing that the public really, I over the years I've learned that, you know, people are looking for black and white answers, and there's nothing cut and dry.
Right.
And that's what, you know, that's what frustrates a lot of clients with attorneys, is they want just a simple answer. And in real estate, it can be simple if it's done up front, like if you plan for up front. But when it's not done right, especially in real estate or in like contracts, if it's not done right, it's very frustrating because everything blows up and people, it's like herding cats. That's just
Yep.
the best analogy I can make. You're constantly trying to put that genie back in the bottle and make people happy. And in law, if you're calling an attorney when there's a dispute, unfortunately, people aren't usually happy.
Yep.
And very rarely, you know, 50% of the time, if they win, 50% of the time they lose. So it's just how it is.
That's life.